All right, so in this episode, we are going to be doing the stack using Python as always. So now we are on to the data structures. Now we are done with the sorting part and also the searching part. Now we are doing the DS, the data structure. So let's just continue with this. So in this one, what we'll be doing is performing different functions into the stack. So what are the functions? All right, so the things that we're going to use up here in this particular episode is first push, pop, peak is empty and is full. That's what we're going to do. So the first thing is we're going to initialize the stack. And how do we do that is by calling the init method, which will we have self and a max size. So object-oriented programming, obviously. So now that we have defined the self stack, which is basically going to be empty in the first place, then the max size, which is going to be the max size that is being set into the init method. Then we'll be having a push. So push basically will insert an element into the stack. It is going to push an element into the stack. So what do we need is self and the element that we will be going to push into the stack. So if the stack is full, then it will say the stack is full and it will return. And if the stack is not full, then it will append the element into it. And then it will just print a message that element, and then it will print the element's name or number. Let's just say that number pushed in stack. That's what we basically wanted to say, right? So this is how the basis of it works. So is full, we are going to be defining into the later part of this tutorial. All right. So now that we're done with the push, let's just move on to the pop part. So pop is basically used to take out an element. Push is used to insert an element. Pop is used to take out an element, or let's just say delete an element. Okay. So let's just say that self is empty. If it's empty, then it will say stack is empty and return none. And if it's not empty, then it will just take out one element. All right, so pop basically deletes the topmost element, right? You have to understand this, that it deletes the topmost element. It does not necessarily delete any kind of numbers that you give it. It just deletes the topmost number. That's it. Okay, right? So let's just use the pick next. First, let's just complete this one. Then the peak method. Peak method basically just returns the topmost element. So let's just say the last element of the stack, right? So topmost is the last thing, because in stack we have the first thing on the bottom and then on the top. So stack is basically set up in that way that the first element is the last element, right? First in, last out. That's what basis of stack is. So peak, if we want to get the first element or the topmost element, we need to take out the last index, right? So the last index is basically checked with -1. So now that we are done with that, we'll use the is empty. So how do we check if it's empty? So if the length of the stack is equal to 0, then it is basically empty. If it's is equal to max size, then it's full. Simple as that. It's empty and it's full are basically the most simple part of this tutorial. Though it's really simple. If you are doing this with C or C++, then that's like fucking crazy. This seems like crazy shit. It's mess, all mess. If you're doing it with C and C++, it's total fucking mess. But with Python, it's one of the most easiest things. Like stack is total a game. Like a little game. So we'll now create an object of stack class and we'll name it as stack, little stack. And now we can access the push, pop, peak, everything with using the object. So let's just push 10. So it will insert 10 and 20, and then it will check which is the topmost element, which basically is going to be 20 because it was inserted lastly. And then we are going to be deleting 20 because it is going to be the last element for topmost element. So pop basically takes out the topmost element. So now let's just do the pop part. Okay, and then is stack is empty or not? Let's just check that. If stack is empty, then it will return true. If not, then it will return false. Okay, so let's just run this. basically it will return false in the last one. So let's just see how correct I am. And obviously I'm going to be everything correct. Okay, it's pushed, and you can see 20 and popped 20 and is stack empty, false. Perfect. So here we are done with stack. So what I want you to do is just go on to the description and download this link, download this code from the link below, and then you can just create a menu based program out of it. So all you have to do is just create a menu where you click if one, then it will going to be doing push, pip, pop, and things like that. So all you do is just create a menu based program. It's going to be really interactive and fun. So see you in the next one.